Did you also get any culture shocks in Japan?
Yeah, that's a good question.
確かに。Yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm getting nervous because this is my first video on my YouTube channel. So I'm Japanese, and the reason why I started a YouTube channel because I have a lot of foreign friends who are interested in Japan, and they are always asking me about question like about Japanese culture, Japanese people, and anything about like Japan. So I was thinking very good to make a video because I noticed that a lot of people are interested in Japan from the overseas. And if you want to know anything about Japan, you can always comment me in a video that like, hey, I want to know something, I want you to ask the people about something, so I will consider to make a video about it. So, okay, let's get started. Can I ask, where are you from?
I'm from Michigan
Okay,
in the US. Yep,
nice.
United States.
How long have you been in Japan?
So this time around, I've been here since September, so only about 3 months.
Oh, nice. Do you like living here?
Yeah, I do like living here. There's so much to do, so much stuff to do. Michigan, where I'm from, not a lot to do. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
So is it countryside in Michigan?
yeah. Well, it wasn't the countryside. It just wasn't really a big city. So,
Oh, yeah.
And I lived there for
I
10
see.
years, so
I see.
it got kind of boring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Tokyo is pretty big city, so there's a lot of things to do.
Yeah, tons of stuff to do.
Yeah. So what brought you to come to Japan?
I actually came here for college. I go to Sophia University, and they have a big English curriculum there. The school's alright. I don't know if I recommend it, but yeah. So I just came back for college.
I see. You could choose the university in US, right? So do you have any reason to come to Japan?
Yeah. So I actually went to a college in the U.S. first before I came here, and it was really good. It was a great school, but a lot of schools in the US are very expensive. They're about 36,000 or like 360万ぐらい. So 結構, yeah, so pretty expensive, and then that's like 3 times what I'm paying right now at Jochi. So so that was one big reason, and then also I was studying there, and then Corona happened, and all my classes went online. So I took some time to reconsider what I was doing, and was like, okay, let me explore. I can go back to Japan, and then I got in, so I was like, why not?
Oh, okay. Nice. Did you get any culture shocks in Japan?
Culture shock?
Yeah, culture shock.
Honestly, I would say so. Yeah, there's more so around than I used to, because I lived here in the past when I was younger, and I would visit a lot, so I'm like fairly acquainted with how society works here and like how to act in Japan. But I guess one thing that I kind of realized how obedient Japanese people are, which it's very different than how it is in the U.S.
Yeah.
Everybody just like runs around and does like crazy.
Yeah.
So
I think Japanese people are very shy and quiet. I think very difficult to become closer with them as foreigners. I think. What do you think about it?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Do you have a Japanese friends?
Yeah, I have a few. One of my closest friends actually is I met him through the school that I went to in the US, and then he lives here and we hang out a lot. But yeah, there's definitely a difference in how people become intimate. I think you can't in the US. I feel like I could talk to strangers, but in Japan it's not really a thing.
We don't really talk to strangers.
Yeah, it's kind of like
except Nampa.
Yeah. 確かに. Yeah.
Okay, so the last question is do you have any annoying things about Japan, like which we have to fix?
Annoying things, I think, are
some strange things. Anything about negative things here?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things naturally with any society. Not to say that I think Japanese society is bad,
right?
But I guess my criticisms would be gender exclusive. Seems kind of. I think it could be more open to people of trans people and people who aren't conforming to the male female gender.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Being in the US, I think there's more open to sexuality and different genders.
Right.
So
That's right.
And then another thing, I don't know if it's the end of the world that it's not that way, but I think the drug laws are very intense here.
Oh yeah.
Like marijuana, it's very stigmatized, and you know it's not the end of the world that it's not legalized here, but I think that it shouldn't be as harsh of a punishment for smoking weed here, because in all honesty, it's like alcohol, if not even more safe, and there's a lot of research is being legalized in a lot of countries around the world. And funny enough, it was actually, they used to use it in the Showa era in Japan, like for medical prescriptions. So I think they could loosen up a little bit there, but there's a list of problems I could talk. I don't think it's anything serious here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Any society could be better.
Yeah, I think Japanese people needs more education about like gender stuffs. Okay, so thank you for cooperation. Have a nice day.
Yeah, anytime. Yeah, thank you.
Where are you from?
I'm from India.
India.
Yes.
What brought you to come to Japan?
So I completed my PhD in India, and then I got a job position offer in Japan, and I came here.
Nice. Like before, when you live in India, did you scare to come to outside of India?
No, because I have lived outside of India before coming to Japan as well. So I was not really scared, but the only thing what I thought would be different here is that people don't speak English that well. So wherever I have been before, they at least speak some English. At least, people outside of the university. So I work here at the university. So that was my only worry. But after coming here, I figured that with the help of Google Translate, and people understand some bit of English, so it's not that difficulty.
I see.
Yeah.
So you think it's difficult to become friends with Japanese people because they don't speak English?
Yeah, that's actually true statement. The thing is, you can have a little bit of small talk with them. That's okay. But I find that having like a meaningful connection or like a deep friendship, it's really hard to, because unless they speak your language, you can't really communicate what you are feeling, what you are thinking. And moreover, from my understanding, Japanese persons are like a little bit shy,
Yeah.
So
exactly.
they might think
So
that because of the language barrier, they don't open themselves up too much. So it takes a lot of time to be really close and have good friends here in Japan. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I got you. Sometimes even for me, it's like difficult to become like close with Japanese people, even I'm Japanese.
Right. I think it's specifically for a person who have, let's say, even if you are Japanese, probably you have been outside and then came back. So I have few friends in my university who are Japanese, but they spent some time in US or Canada. So when they came back, they said that even they are having hard time becoming friends with Japanese person, because people who have gone outside, their lifestyle or at least thinking style have changed, and now they can't really relate to a Japanese person who have been living here in Japan. So that's a little difficult. Yeah.
I see. Did you also get any culture shocks in Japan?
Well, yeah, that's a good
really.
question. Culture shock, not so much. I appreciate some things which Japanese people do, which Indians are not really, known for, which is being punctual and in time, which is even before coming, I knew that Japanese person, they are like strictly punctual. So that was, I guess, the only culture shock, because in India, what happens that, let's say you fix a meeting with your friends at 5 p.m. But it's okay if you are arrived there at 5:30. People don't.
Right.
Yeah, they don't matter. It's not only about friends, even for some official work, even if you are led by say 10, 15, 30 minutes, they don't really bother much. But after coming to Japan, it's like people are really on time, and which is good. The train, buses, everything runs on time except flight. But I would say probably the only little bit of culture shock. Other than food was slightly different, because Indian foods are much more spicy and rich in flavorful.
Right.
Japanese food, even if it's flavorful, but it's a different kind of flavor, more on the milder side than an Indian food. But other than that, I think I didn't have any sort of big culture shock.
Right.
Yeah.
another question. So do you think living in other countries is a good experience? Because a lot of Japanese people very scared to go abroad because I think because they don't really speak English. So do you think it's a good experience to live in abroad?
Yeah, of course, because the thing is, of course, it depends on the question that how much time are you going to live abroad, if it's a short time or if it's a long time. So even if both the cases, I would still say living abroad is a good experience. At least you'll get to know different people, different culture, and if you are really into it, of course, you can learn the language, which will make you can make friends very easily and really get into the culture. So I am always up for living in different places other than your homeland, but I can understand Japanese society is a very homogeneous society. So whoever lives in Japan, mostly Japanese. So that's the reason why they don't speak any other language other than Japanese language, and this is also the reason why they are quite shy, that they think that when they speak with somebody who speaks English, or Japanese people don't speak the language, they think that they cannot communicate well. So they are, how do I say, it's like they are suffering from inferiority complex in some sense. But as more and more I am seeing younger generation, they are quite good in English. At least my university, I have seen people are even if they speak English, they're still shy. But at least more people are learning English, using English in their places, working places. So they are quite open to living abroad, even if for a short amount of time. But I would say the older generation, they speak only Japanese, so they are more averse to living and going abroad and staying there. That's my assessment.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, maybe Japanese people has to see more another new things. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching my video. How was my first video? I still have to learn a lot of things about how to interview people, how to film a video. So I would very appreciate if you comment my video about advice to me. So, and hopefully see you soon guys in next video. So, ciao.